Hi everybody! Hi everybody! What's today? My battery's at 3%. Today's April 7th. You're going to be seeing these videos earlier than I anticipated just because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting a new camera. So, you know, I don't have to say months in advance, you know, like I've been doing if you've seen the other videos, which I probably have posted by now or will be posting soon enough. I'm making a Christmas wreath with, it's ruffles on ruffles. It's a poly jute, 10 inches cut at 20 inches, 19-ish inches, and then a poly jute with metallic cut at 19-20 inches. I say 19-20 inches because when I was cutting them at 20, one time I ended up with not enough. The jute roll was in 2 pieces, so I ended up throwing like half of a piece away, you know, like 10 inches of a piece. So I've been just kind of cutting them 19 around there, just in case there's not enough. It just, if I cut, how many of these do I get? I get 18, so if I add an inch every time, I end up with an extra one at the end. So all my ruffles are made. Some of them are put together, some of them aren't. These two are not, because I want to put those together. I've just decided that it is too much for me to be sitting here doing all of these ruffles and then ending up with a 2.5-hour video, which if you guys like watching that, that's fine. I like making them. They take forever to render on my computer because my computer is 1,000 years old. So I'm just trying to make a shorter video so it's a little bit less of a strain on my computer because I can't do anything else when it's rendering a video because it's 1,000 years old. So I'm just going to make, oh no, let me talk about this first. Dollar Tree frame, 2 pipe cleaners on the outside, 1 on the inside. These are on the 1 and 2, these are on the 3 and 4. And if you wire them together, pull them a little tight, they're not going to move. So to do the ruffles, I'm going to put this out. And I've been holding like this, like holding my side straight with my pinky kinda, and then just coming in and getting that ruffled up. And then I like to make sure that it's pretty even. That's good enough, and then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it in here. And then I'm going to take this one, do the exact same thing, except this one's a little easier because you have a guide. Of course, as I'm saying that, it's going all over the place, but don't stress about that. Open this back up just because all my other ones are going to go in without being twisted. But you can put it on top of it, twist it again if you want to. So this one's going down. Putting it in there. And for the other side, which is popped out, of course. Getting that back under there. I'm going to push down and pull pretty hard, and then give it a twist to keep them in place. And when I put these in here, I want the cut sides going this way, not this way, because these are finished edges, so this is what's going to get the most wear and tear when you're touching it, when you're moving it, when it's on your door, when you're packing it, and you want the cut edges kind of protected. Okay, and what I like to do, what I did when I was just sitting in my office watching TV, having dinner, I made a lot of the plain poofs, and I made a lot of the metallic poofs. I do it like this just because I don't want to sit here and roll at this table. I've done it in videos before. It takes a long time. This is not the most comfortable place for me to be. I like being in the back. I like having everything done so I can just really get into it. So if you do all your poofs first, and then you can put them together, come to the next tie. I'm starting in, and I'm like zigzagging back and forth. Put this in here. Pull it tight. Twist it once. Make sure everything is turned the way we want it to be. Which is like that. And then some of them I went through and I did both of them together. It was the exact same thing. I just gathered up the top one, put a pipe cleaner on, gave it a twist, gathered up the bottom one, put it on and gave it a twist. So there's like a half pipe cleaner in here. So they're already secured together. So all I have to do is take them and put them in here. The only problem with this is that these take up so much space. I mean, they're everywhere. Y'all know I don't have a lot of room here, but even if you have a lot of room, they're still kind of everywhere. So I'm gonna go through and do this, and we'll see how much quicker I can get this done. Hopefully under 40 minutes is the goal. So editing a video today, and I was like, why? I was like, this is taking so long. Why am I so slow? And I am slow because of my hands, and I mean, if you like watching somebody, it doesn't matter that they're slow. Like, if I like watching somebody, I'll watch them make a wreath for 3 hours. That could probably be done in, 90 minutes, but... So if you don't want to watch this, you can fast forward. If you do want to watch it, hey, how you guys doing? I am doing surprisingly well. My stomach has kind of stopped fighting me so much. My stomach muscles, that is. I'm having like such bad abdominal strain. Don't really know from what. Probably from throwing up because I throw up a lot. But today I made it a point. I was like, okay, we are going to be super careful about what we're eating, and we are not going to eat too fast, and we are not going to eat too much, and we are not going to throw up. And I didn't, except for once. And that's only because I ate pasta. And my stomach was like, hey, you did not chew this pasta to death. So, it needs to go. Which was fun. Better than throwing up every meal. Hi, welcome to my channel. We talk about throw up a lot here. See, I saw one of the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube. She posted a video decorating her house for Quarantino-ween, which I guess was March 31st. I didn't know anything about it. But, a bunch of YouTubers and Instagrammers that got together and they decorated their house for Halloween. Which, I mean, that's a cute idea. If you really like Halloween, I think that's super cute. But she was taking down bunny rabbits and Easter eggs to put up skulls and spiders. And I was just, wouldn't it make more sense to wait until after Easter? I mean, Easter's in a week. Why y'all doing that so close to Easter? But people are doing what they can to bring themselves a little happiness, bring them a little peace of mind, make their families happy, keep their families happy, keep them occupied, whatever. I mean, I'm making Christmas wreaths because that's what makes me happy, so. Everybody's got something. I so appreciate the people who are the content creators on YouTube who are going out of their way to provide extra content. I know one of the guys, I think his name is Barry Lewis, he's from the UK. He's been cooking every day, like doing a live stream of him cooking because he's a cooking channel. And I know, I think Alton Brown, you know, from Good Eats, he's been doing it. And I think it's just, it's something people need, like, let's hang out and do something. I mean, that's why I wanted to start doing these longer videos. And it's not just, you know, it's not just for you guys, it helps me so much. I have a feeling this one's gonna get really big, because it's already really big. So I almost left the house today. I was like, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it without my mom. I just gotta go to the deli. Because I don't know how I feel about, like I could go to Walmart easy, get the same thing I would get at the deli. But there's gonna be more people at the Walmart than there would be at the deli. And, but at the deli, you know, they're actually cutting the meat for you and everything instead of, like, because I just need some cheese. I literally just need cheese and some red beans to make red beans and rice. So I was torn between, like, just going to the deli me and my mom go to every Sunday for lunch, or going to Walmart. And then I was like, I can't go to Walmart by myself. Like, I don't have that, like, I'm not ready for that. I was like, I don't have that capability, but I'm not ready to do that by myself. Just because it's incredibly nerve-wracking. You know, they say all these 6 feet apart stickers everywhere, and then you got people checking out next to each other with their baskets touching. Like, what's the point of putting the stickers all over the floor if y'all aren't gonna open up every other register, you know? So I was like, I'm just gonna go to the deli, and I was gonna say I got ready, but I didn't really do anything. I was just like, I told the dog I was leaving, and I walked to the back door, and I grabbed my keys, and I walked outside, and I was like, you know what? I don't need cheese. Want cheese. I don't need cheese. So, but I almost went. Which I know I'm not, supposed to be leaving, but it was like, I eat cheese and crackers all the time, and that's one of the things I've been eating almost every day. But then I told my mom, and she was like, just come up to Walmart tomorrow, and she will, during her lunch break, just bring me out the cheese. She'll buy it during her lunch break and bring it out to me, so I don't have to go inside. I don't have to deal with anybody. I don't even have to get out the car. Because we can't get grocery delivery. Which is... The parish I live in is not that big. And we have 2 Walmarts. We have a regular Walmart and we have a neighborhood market. And I can't get grocery deliveries from either one because every time I look, it says no available times. Which I can kind of understand the Supercenter because that is right on the cusp of my parish and Orleans Parish, so they're probably delivering to a lot of people who are in Orleans Parish. But, oh, don't fall. Yeah, I can't. I was trying because I was like, if I could just order everything I needed, I'd be fine. I wouldn't even have to leave on Saturdays. Just order me a bunch of cheese. But you know, my mom, she works at Walmart, and I mean, I ask her every day about how was it? Like, not just how was your experience, like, how were the shoppers? Were there less? Were there more? Were there, you know, people who were like, just buying random stuff? Like, just shopping around? Or was it more people who were actually grocery shopping? How am I gonna reach this? Wait, hold on, y'all. My stuff fell on the other side of the table. Oh, 1, 2. Gosh, you. Okay, hopefully I remember to cut all that out. But yeah, she's like, I guess there's less people. And I was like, just tell me there's less people. Just tell me people are finally starting to listen and take this seriously. I saw that clip of the woman going to church on Palm Sunday, and, you know, somebody asked her, like, why are you out? You know, why are you going to this gathering with all of these people? And she just kept saying she was covered in the blood of Jesus, so she wasn't worried about getting sick. Lord help us all. Like, I get that, but at the same time, if Jesus loved you so much, wouldn't he understand if you didn't go to church that one day, or you haven't been to church? And like, I don't think, you know, I don't think she's any more protected than someone who doesn't go to church, even if she thinks she's covered with the blood of Jesus. I was just like, come on. You know, I'm not the greatest. I was raised Catholic, not the greatest at religion, but I'm pretty sure the whole Jesus message is like, you know, do good things, pretty much. Like, did he want much more than that from us? Like, do good things. Don't be a bad person. Don't covet your neighbors, whatever. I don't know what a dog is again. I don't know, stuff like that, it aggravates me. And it's not because she's religious and I'm not. It's just like, come on. We all want to be out doing something. We're all missing something that we can't do right now, that we feel like we need to do. And hopefully we're dealing with it and not going out. Like, there's so many things that I want to do. Y'all know I never leave my house. I never leave my house. But that's all I want to do. I don't know where I'm going. I really want to go see my sister. It's just, it has been, I don't think I've ever gone this long without seeing her when I haven't been pissed off at her for one reason or another. Why is this? Oh, okay. Oh, it goes over there. And I know by not seeing her, I'm doing her a favor and doing me a favor. It's just like, that's my hangout buddy. Because I don't have a lot of friends. So, you know, getting to see her once a day, and even if we didn't do anything, even if we just came here and watched cleaning videos on YouTube, Like, that was something, and now I don't have that. But I do have this enormous wreath. Wasn't it a lot faster? I don't know what time it clocked in at, but I think it was a lot faster. This is like a... oh, that's thread. Y'all, I have been making so many pumpkins. My whole desk in the back is covered with pumpkins. Every time I talk to my mom, she's like, "What you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sewing a pumpkin." She's like, "What are you going to do with all those pumpkins?" I don't know, probably stick them in a wreath. Right, I'm just trimming this up a little bit. I really like this poly jute mesh. It's got such a nice finished edge on it. Alright, and now I'm going to try something completely new that I've never seen anybody do before. Have I? No, I think I was just thinking. Okay, let me move this. And of course, the ribbon is on the other side of the thing. Like, this thing of ribbon is, say this is $5 or however much, and it is 10 yards. This ribbon, this Deco, it's Deco mesh. It's just 2.5 inches long, 2.5 inches wide. It's 25 yards for like $6 or something. The problem with using this as tails is that this, you can't bevel, you know, you can't you can't dovetail it. You can't leave it straight because it's an exposed edge. So it's like, how do I get this in here? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, let me just order it and I'll play with it and see. So one of the ideas I had for a more, I don't know, like whimsical wreath would be if you took it like this, made loops like this, and then put it in the ties like that, except nicer. Kind of like that. And then I was like, I don't know. But what I came up with is putting these edges together, putting these edges together, so it's kind of straight. And since I want to batch these out, how does this stapler never work? It just worked. Okay, so my idea of like batching them out is not going to work unless my other stapler is magically around here somewhere, which, why would it be? Anyway, I was going to take the stapler, staple all these together, so when it came time to put them in the ties, I could just find one, put it down here, and give it a good twist. Right, and I'm going to have to put a lot more in there for you to really, well, for me too, because I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, I cut 18 of these at 24 inches because I wanted like a 6-inch bow. But I think I would feel more comfortable with them overlapping a little more in the middle. I feel most comfortable with stapling them, but you know. My landlord's been fixing up the house next door, you know, since my neighbors moved out. And I went to go pay the rent when he was up there the other day, and he's like, "Hey, after all this calms down, I'm gonna come in your house and update some things." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come in there, we can work together, we can take all the stuff and push it to the middle of the room, and I can paint." And I was like, "Oh my god, no. No, 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 no. First of all, there is no middle of the room. No. I am at capacity here. I've been at capacity here since I moved in because I moved from a bigger house to this house. And first of all, I'm not helping you. I pay so I pay rent so I don't have to do stuff like that. Like that, like physical stuff like that. No, I can't be putting my back through that. Also, there's nowhere to move anything, and I just don't like people in my house. And furthermore, there's nothing to update. I mean, I've been in this house for 10 years, but it's like I've been having ragers every week. Yeah, I think the most people I've ever had in my house at one time was like 5. So I was like, I'm good. No, I was actually like, oh, okay. And I panic called my mom, and I was like, Mom, oh my God, listen to this. And she's like, he's not going to do that. And I was like, okay, you sure? And she's like, yeah, he's not going to do that. Don't worry about it. Can you imagine how stressful that would be? Like, hi, I'm coming into your personal space, and we're gonna move a bunch of stuff around together because I don't know. I mean, my house doesn't need to be painted. At least I mean, I'm looking around right now, and I'm like, what needs to be upgraded? I don't use my stove. You could buy me a new dryer. My dryer broke like 6 years ago. And it was my dryer. It's not like it's his dryer that he just never fixed. Again, I don't want somebody coming in my house. I was like, I don't need a dryer anymore. Alright, so I think that's all the inside pieces. I know that's 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if those are all the inside ones. I feel like one of these might be an outside. Yeah, I'm kind of into this. And it brings in a little, because there's a lot of, the red's wider than the green, so I guess it feels like it just brings in a little bit of the, a little bit more green. I guess I have that upgrade to look forward to, but I agree with my mom that it's probably not gonna happen. I was like, why does he want to, like, he was like, you know, I'll help you. And I was like, you'll help me what? So I'm thinking he probably was like doing something, like cutting the grass in the backyard. He looked in through my window and was like, holy crap. Look at all this guy's junk everywhere. Which, yeah, it's not junk. I don't have any closets. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, I run my business out of my house. But whatever, I'm not going to stress about that. If he brings it up again, I'll just be like, listen, I didn't really sign up for that. When I signed this lease 10 years ago, and I paid my rent on time for, what, 120 months now? Is that right? 12 months, 12 times, oh my god. Wow, that's a lot of money. Somebody tell me that's wrong. That's not wrong though, that's right. So yeah, like, I mean, he tore up the house next door when the neighbors moved. Now, their house needed to be tore up because it was disgusting, but he can wait till I move for him to come over here and do whatever he wants to do. I just don't like people in my house. Well, I'm running into that problem again with the pipe cleaners that are basically the same color as the mesh. Like, I can't find them when I go looking for them. So far, I am pretty impressed with this. Which, I mean, it's the same thing as using the ribbons to make like half bows, but it's cheaper. Deco mesh is gonna hold up, go over there, better than ribbon outside. I mean, it's not a pattern or anything, but I'm not super into. I'm into patterns. I'm not into like. I think I talked about this one other time. Like, I'm not into like novelty prints. Like when I was quilting, and somebody would be like, "Oh, I want a baby quilt, and I want to have like, you know, zoo animals and like teddy bear fabric," and I was like, "Let me stop you right there. I don't do that." I don't make Winnie the Pooh quilts. I don't make barnyard quilts. I don't make whatever kind, like a chicken quilt with chickens on it because your grandma loves chickens. I don't even like that. We call that novelty fabric. I mean, I guess novelty ribbon is the same thing, but I don't even think I have any of that in my house. Like all the fabric that I used for quilting, besides like most of it was stuff that I dyed myself, but it's all like solids and tonals and maybe some stripes every now and then because I do like a good stripe. But yeah, I like that this is not a, you know, that's not ribbon. This would be going a lot faster if my staple gun worked. Damn stapler doesn't work. Can't find my staple gun. So I am thinking that this is about going to be the biggest wreath I've ever made. Maybe. I mean, it's still going to be 24 inches, I think. But it just looks really full. I have no idea what's going on here after this. But I'm thinking this ribbon with the glitter stripes and the natural. And maybe some of the other stuff I got. I don't know. See, I'm just making. I'm not gonna sit here and measure it to make sure it's perfectly centered. I know I cut 18 of these. Why do I have 2 ties left? I want to watch a movie tonight. I say that every night and I never watch a movie. I'm just like, let me watch 6 hours of somebody making a wreath. Look at this. It just pulls everything in from everywhere. It's like a freaking black hole. Alright, I'm missing one. I'm missing one. So either I miscounted, which is very possible, or there's one on the floor. And I don't think that's one on the floor. It might be one in the office that I forgot about, but I just took these and my cutting mat is 24 inches, so I just, this is how it comes. I mean, it's 25 yards on here, right? Yeah. And if I used 18 ties at 2 feet each, that's 36 feet, which is 12 yards. So, I think that looks really good. And I don't know how much it is a foot, but if my invoice is over here, I could always figure that out. It's definitely cheaper than ribbon. Going through and making sure everything is standing up where it should be. I feel like one of these is in the wrong spot. Yeah. No, that's right. I like to turn it around because I can see where my... This one's not right. You know, make sure that my pipe cleaners are still where I put them. And also, this isn't going to get smashed in a box, because if it does, it pops right back up. I feel like I need to turn this that way, so yeah, there's my base, and it is still 24 inches, but it's 8 inches high. So my base is done. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to go watch a movie, but you'll know I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to watch, I don't know, figure out how goats give birth, or how to milk a kangaroo, how to retar my root, I don't know, something. But I want these like this or that. I kind of want them like this. And then have these out like that, maybe? Yeah, so that's a fun wreath. It's finally something whimsical. Let me see how my, hey baby. I feel like I might add something like this. Obviously not right there, but, well, maybe right there, who knows? Maybe I'll just stick it in there with the price tag still on it. Oh, I hate that these come individually wrapped. I'll fluff this out some. Cute. I'm excited about this one. I think I would end up cutting these off. You know. But that's it for today. I just wanted to get my base done so tomorrow I can just get started on it without having to worry about doing all of that we just did. So I will be back right now. And here we are, right where I left you guys. I definitely did not go to sleep and then, you know, have breakfast and do things, and it's definitely not like 12 hours later. Is it 12 hours later? No, it's like 14 hours later. So, my base is done, and I cut some ribbon tails last night and this morning. This ribbon, what a nightmare. So pretty, it's everywhere. It is just everywhere. This one, not anywhere, because it's not covered with glitter. So these are going in every tie, but, you know, in every other tie. These in every other tie, those in every other tie. And I want to do that before I make a bow, just because that's the last thing I'm going to put in here, and then I can clip all these pipe cleaners off. I should have my crappy scissors. Alright, I'm folding them in half, pinching them together. And then looking for, I think the pipe cleaners will be easier to find this time because the green is right there. And because I'm going to finish these off, I'm going to 1, 2, 4, 5. Take you, push you down. So I want you going up, I think, for now. So how's everybody doing today? I'm slightly out of breath because I went out this morning. My mom, I said my mom was going to get all my stuff, and then I was like, you know what? That is not really fair to her because she's going to have to do that on her lunch break, and maybe she deserves to actually eat lunch and take a break on her lunch break. So I texted her when I got up and I was like, how bad is it? And she said, well, there's people lined up all across the front of the store. They're letting them in one at a time, but we just opened. So like a half an hour later, she texted me back and she was like, all right, the line's gone. It's not too bad. If you want to come, come. If you don't, it's not a big deal. But I was like, oh, Lord. Me in this house, me and this dog. I just gotta, I gotta get away for a little while. So I took all my precautions, made sure I had a fresh bottle of hand sanitizer and my mask. And I went to Walmart, which... Wait, hold on. I don't know. I'm so thirsty. I don't know how y'all Walmarts are set up. We have like the pharmacy entrance and the grocery entrance. They have completely closed the pharmacy side. So you can only enter and exit through the grocery side, which is smart, I guess. And there's all these barricades set up, and you have to get in line when there is a line. I just walked right in because there was no line, but when there is a line, you have to get in the line and stand 6 feet apart from everybody else. There's tape on the ground to mark it, and then you walk up, they sterilize a card for you and give it to you. So when I pulled up, I knew they were doing this because my mom told me. I had no idea where to go. It was just barricades everywhere, and I was like, how do I get into the store? So I started going one way, and this woman was like, sir, no. And I was like, don't yell at me. I don't know where to go, and it's not clearly marked. So there's no need to yell at me, because if you yell at me, Karen, I'm going to yell back. Okay? I'm going to cut you up with my vicious, vicious words, and that is not a battle you will win, Karen. So I have to walk all the way around this, 3-mile barricades. And I get all the way to the end, and then you have to walk down this long corridor under all these canopies, which I guess is there to keep... I don't know why the canopies are there. I guess if it's raining. It's like all these canopies set up, and I get there, I walk up and I stop, and the guy who is sanitizing the carts, he sprays the cart, he gives it to me, and while he is 2 feet away from my face, says, make sure you keep your distance 6 feet away from everybody else. And I was like, really, Karen? Because his name was Karen too, I think. I said, really, Karen? You telling me? This ribbon, y'all. This ribbon wants to be in this wreath so bad. You telling me to stay 6 feet away when you are all up in my face? So I got my basket. I did not have a shopping list because it was like, that's nothing new. I just saw my other scissors because this dovetail looks funky. Got my basket all nice and sanitized. When I got inside, I sanitized it again. With the provided wipes and then with my hand sanitizer. because you can't be too cautious. And then, oh, something good actually happened. And I was like, all right, you can't leisure, like you can't wander around like you really want to. I don't know which side is the front of this. I guess it doesn't matter because they're both the same. Oh, this is the front. Oh, look, and the fronts just all happen to be in the front. That's a nice surprise. You can't leisure like you want to. You can't hang out. You can't smell candles. So, I go to the clearance section only because there's never anything over there. And when there is something over there, they're like, regularly $29.99, now $28.97. And I'm like, well, that's clearance? But I go over there because there's this older woman who, you know, she works with my mom. They're friendly. You know, she's really sweet. And every time I'm in there, you know, she tells me hi and she asks me how I'm feeling. And she was so concerned about me when I was dealing with the pick line and everything. So I was like, I'm just going to pass by the clearance aisle and say hi from a distance. And I got over there and I don't know, there's like 8 people on one aisle all digging through the crap. And I was like, okay, so these people don't listen. And then I'm like looking and there's no Miss Nell. And I remember I was like, oh yeah, she had some, I don't know what it was. She had something unrelated to the virus. And the doctor told her, I don't know if it was like an immune thing. He just said, it's probably better for you not to go to work. Because she's like, I think she's got to be like 70 something. Play it safe. Take your time off. You don't need to be at work. So I was like, alright, well, I walked all the way over here. So I go in. My mom finds me. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yes, I'm fine. And she's like, why do you look like that? I said, because I am hyperventilating under this mask. I don't know what it is about wearing a mask. I am just like hardcore Bane breathing underneath it, like every time I breathe I can see the mask moving in front of my face and I'm like, I'm gonna pass out. But you know, at least I'll be protected. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I said I went to go see Miss Nell. She's like, Miss Nell's not here. And I was like, yeah, I know. So she's like, go get what you need. There's not a lot of people in here. It might look like a lot of people because I was like, Mom, I'm good. Okay, like, I'm a big boy. I can handle this. I'm fine. I'm in the store now. Like, that's half the battle is me getting out of my car and getting into the store. And I was like, these jerks outside are like telling me to stay away from everybody when they're all up in my face. So she says, okay, go get what you need. I said, okay. So I go, and I'm like, I have my list in my head because I never have a list. I think I just said that. Never have a list. So I'm going and I'm like, alright, I need cheese. This is what my list in my head was. I need Havarti cheese, I need Munster cheese, I need Swiss cheese, I need sharp cheddar cheese slices, I need crackers, I need nacho cheese, I need tortilla chips. Like nothing actually essential, but I have just been so into eating crackers and cheese. Like just, you know, you take a little one of those little fresh packs of saltines, it's like however many are in there. I'm actually gonna, I don't know if you can see it, you can kind of see this. I'm pulling these out, whereas these went up. I'm gonna pull these out. So, I'm like, get my cheese, get my nacho cheese, get my chips, get my crackers, get the stuff to make red beans. And then get granola bars. There was something, what was that? I needed something else too. Oh, and get Chinese food. Because I think the Chinese place near me that I go all the time, they're delicious, they're wonderful. I think they closed up shop before things even got bad. Because I remember calling there one day and nobody answered. And the few times I have been out, we've passed there and I'm like, they're not even open. I don't know if it's like they were just like, hey, let's get out of here before people, because there's so much like hate directed towards Asian people. Like, these are Chinese people. These people are Asian. They run a Chinese restaurant, but they're Vietnamese. But you can't explain that to anybody down here. Like, oh, you're Asian. You definitely are the reason everybody has this virus. You know, that's the mentality. So that's what I think happened. I think they were just like, let's not. Which sucks because all I want is Chinese food. I wanted Chinese food so bad. So it's like, I'm just gonna get the frozen crap. It's not as good. I can never find where the rice is. Still couldn't find it today. Had to go without, but... So I get that. And... What else did I get? I don't know. I think that's it. So I've been in there for like maybe 20 minutes, a half an hour. And I go by my mom and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go check out. Do you need anything? And she's marking down all these underwear. She's like, can you buy me some panties? And I was like, no. And she said, what do you mean no? I was like, no. And she said, they're only 50 cents and they look really comfortable. And I was like, no. So she's like, just buy them. So she gives me all these clearance panties that she thinks are going to be comfortable. And she says, did you check the meat? And I was like, no, Mom, I don't really eat much meat. Like, I eat meat, but I'm not going to go, like, get a pot roast or something, you know? I was like, no, I didn't even really go over there. She's like, I'm going to go see if they have ribs, because they didn't have ribs, and we need ribs for Easter. And I was like, okay, well, go ahead. She's like, I need you to get them for me. And I was like, okay, Mom. Because she can't, like, when she's done with work, she doesn't want to have to wait in the line to check out, which, whatever. I don't care about spending the money. I was just like, okay. So I said, I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'm just going to wander over to the craft section over here and see what's essential and what's not. And there weren't very many people over there. I think I saw people, I passed the fat quarters first, like, because I just went over there and I was like, every one of them is gone. I said, that makes me so happy that somewhere all these people got together and bought every fat quarter in Walmart. I think they had like 3 left. And all the prepackaged cotton fabric is gone. I was like, that makes me happy. Like, I'm glad I came over here, if only to see that, because it meant that either a lot of people have taken up quilting, or a lot of people are at home making masks, which I know that's what it is, because why would you take up quilting in the middle of a pandemic instead of making masks? But anyway, so I'm like, oh, that's nice. So there's a woman at the counter, and she's like, she's got all these things of fabric. Like, because they still have the bolts of fabric, they just don't have anything pre-cut. And when I'm passing, she tells the woman, I need 5 yards of everything, and she had like, it had to be like 8 or 10 bolts of fabric, and I was like, okay, go ahead. I should have been like, hey, come by my house. I have so much fabric, I don't know what to do. I gave a lot of it to my friend Michelle's Girl Scout troop a couple years ago. I still have a bunch left, but I was like, nope, I'm just gonna keep walking. So I made a lap around, and I get to the last aisle. I feel like I need to twist this more. I get to the last aisle, and that's all the, like, the kids craft, kits, and, you know, like the sun catcher things, and, you know, all this stuff, and pom-poms, and pipe cleaners, and felt. You guys, let me tell you, when I was meant to go to Walmart today, that's how I knew that I was meant to go to Walmart, because in the midst of all the felt, they had the pumpkin spice colored felt. If you are familiar, that is the felt that I used to make most of my carrots. I made a bunch of pumpkins with it last year. When I found it last year, it was on clearance for 15 cents a piece. And I was like, this is such a nice orange, because it's not this color orange. It's not like too yellow. It's like just the right amount of orange and brown. Perfect color. Like perfect orange color. They had a stack of them about this big. So I was like, essential items, Adam. Felt isn't essential. Felt isn't essential. If you buy these, you're going to be like one of those people. You're going to be like that woman you saw coming in who only had folding chairs and Cricut vinyl when she was checking out. Somebody explain that to me. Somebody in the comments explain that to me. Why does she need that? She had like 6 folding chairs and a bunch of Cricut vinyl. But, whatever. I'm not going to pass judgment because I saw something that said, before you pass judgment on people who are buying things that you think aren't essential, you need to, like, you don't know their story. Like, I gave the example of the man in Home Depot who's buying a gallon of paint. Like, maybe he's painting his house because he's an alcoholic and this time is really stressful for him and he doesn't want to relapse, so he needs something to keep him busy. Or the woman who is buying, you know, plants. I mean, I went and bought plants, but it was for my well-being. I mean, I wasn't going to die without having plants, but I needed something, you know? So it said, like, you can't really judge people on what they're buying because it might be essential for them. And then, I mean, you could argue that, you know, oh, well, new pair of tennis shoes is essential because, you know, he likes to run and I need a new dress because I feel ugly and I want to feel pretty. You know, it's just, you could argue it down to whatever you want. To say, everything needs to be open. But I was thinking about that and I was like, don't be that woman with the vinyl and the chairs. And I said, you know what? How many times did I say, you know what? I said, you know what? 15 more times. And then I was just like, I'm getting it. I said, you know what? I have been so good. I have not gone down aisles where people already were to keep my distance, even though nobody in that Walmart knew what 6 feet looked like. I was like, all y'all need to go buy 2 yardsticks and strap them to your neck. Everybody in a way. Nobody knows what they're doing. So, like, you know what? I've been in my house for, what has it been? Today is the 8th, and I have been in my house since 2014, something like that. So it's like, you have done everything you're supposed to do. Nobody's gonna get sick. Nothing's gonna happen if you buy this felt. So I grabbed the whole stack. And I went and got my mom, and she was like, here's the ribs. And I was like, all right, I gotta go. And she's like, what is all that felt for? And I was like, you don't need to worry about that. Get back to work. So yeah, I got a bunch of felt, which was not essential, but it actually, I mean, I'm going to argue for myself here, not that I need to justify it to myself or to anybody, but when I'm sitting in my office, like when I want to take a break, and I'm like, I'm just going to watch something, I can't do that. Like, I've said that so many times that I just can't relax. So I've been making pumpkins. Felt pumpkins. I have about maybe 3,000 of them on my desk. Sewing them by hand. It gives me something to do while I'm watching TV, so I feel like I'm not, like, just being a lump. So I got that, and I checked out, and I basically spent $70 on cheese and 12 sheets of felt. Oh, and ribs. I was like, these are disgusting. I don't want to put these in my house. And she's like, just do it. It's for Easter. I was like, I thought you ate ham for Easter. She's like, no, we eat ribs. And I was like, okay. So I left there, and I was like, okay, you gotta make one more stop, Adam. And it's one you're dreading, but you gotta do it. I wasn't dreading it, I was just like, oh, if there was another way for me to get around going to Dollar Tree, I would have done it. Because, not that I don't trust them, I was just like, I know that Dollar Tree. So when I get there, there's signs everywhere, all over the front of the store, just everywhere. And I was like, what do all these signs say? So there's signs in English, Spanish, and I'm assuming Vietnamese. You know, one says, you know, one of them is about the new store hours, one of them is about them hiring help, one of them is about this, one of them is about that, but the biggest one that they have, like, all over the place says, you know, they instituted a I don't know what they called it. They just did it the other day where it was a list of stores. It was like Walmart, Tractor Supply, Winn-Dixie, Kinsenko's. Those are all grocery stores. Bromart is a grocery store. Home Depot. Like, those are the only places that can have more than 10 people in them at one time. Everything else, you can only... That's it. 10 people, that's it. So when I walked in, I just needed to go get nasal spray. Because I am almost out of nasal spray. The only nasal spray I can afford is from Dollar Tree. So I was like, I'm just going to go buy 42 of them. So when I walked in, I wasn't going to get a basket because, ew, then that means I'm going to have to, like, touch a basket. That's disgusting. I walk in, they have, like, 4 baskets left. The woman sprays it down all over with disinfectant. And then she hands it to me, and I was like, oh, I don't need a basket. She says, we're using the baskets to keep track of how many people in the store, so you have to take a basket. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, that's smart. First of all, where did they get 10 baskets from? Because every time we go on a Saturday, me and my mom, when we used to go, she could never find a basket, and I had to hear about it for the rest of the day. How Dollar Tree didn't have any baskets. So I got my nasal spray. What did I get? I got my nasal spray and a Rice Krispie treat. Because I was like, you did it, Adam. You deserve felt and a Rice Krispie treat. And then I called my sister and I said, listen, do you need anything? I am at Dollar Tree. Do you need anything? And she said, no, I didn't need anything. And I was like, okay. I said, listen, I'm going to come and stop by your house. Not coming in. You don't need to, you know, whatever. You're going to stand. I'm going to park in the driveway. You're going to stand like 6 feet away from the driveway. And I'm just going to come see you. She said, okay. So I went over there and I got to see her for a minute, which made me feel a little bit better. And she says she's not going out, which hopefully she's telling the truth. She says she does not have a mask, so I'm going to try to make another one later, even though every time I try to do it, my back's like, nope, sorry. Sorry you forgot how to sew for some reason. I didn't forget how to sew. I forgot how to ergonomically sit at my machine, I guess, is what I should say. I don't know which way I want those to go. But yeah, see, this is what I like to see. There's ribbons in here. You can see the green mesh we added, and you can still see this expensive foil mesh. I don't like when you can't see much of the base mesh. Like, here's some of it right here. But that's to provide a base for me to build on. So I like that you can still see the red and green mesh. You can still see the green ribbon mesh, and you can see there's enough of the tail sticking up that you can actually see them. That's what I think is a good wreath. I don't like when they use an expensive mesh for the base, then put an expensive mesh on top, and then cover that mesh with rolls, then cover that rolls with tails, and then cover those tails with a bunch of embellishments, and you can't see anything. Like, I know that this is kind of hidden in by everything else, but it's still peeking out. You can still see it's red and green. There's a lot of green in the middle here. But yeah, I got to see her. That made me feel a little better. She said my grandma's very lonely, and I said, well, I can't do anything about that. But my grandma is, you know, she lost her husband, I'm thinking it's like 2 years by now. And because she's older, like, she's saying she's lonely, but she's lonely because nobody's going to see her because they don't want her to get sick. It's not like grandma's lonely because everybody hates her and nobody will go see her. It's just she's old, you know, she's how old? She's like 83. So I mean, I was like, well, Jen, you know, it is what it is. She's gonna be fine as long as she has a way to get groceries. Everything's gonna be okay. Alright, let's do everybody's favorite part. Let's make a bow. So I talked to my sister for a little while. Her husband has apparently not gone to work in 3 weeks. I don't know how she hasn't killed him. I mean, if I spend 3 minutes with him, I want to kill him, so... like, proud of her for that. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. I want to incorporate the ribbons we already used, which is this one. I don't know what this, that's too dark. I don't know what that's doing out. I'm going to put in this one because it's kind of white, but it's mostly the natural color. Put in this, and this. And I am thinking we've already got a lot of the green in the wreath, so let's do the red. Let's do this red. This one got to go on the top. I know that because that's the smallest one. Then this one, then this. No, I want. Does that look good? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 5. That should make a nice, humongous bow. We are not going to screw this one up like we did the last one on that candy cane. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but what a disaster. And I figured out a way, which I am very proud of myself, I figured out a way to make myself a little mesh roller without having to build something. So, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I'm going to make 12-inch tails. And this will set everything apart from the wreath. And I think we're gonna do, what do you say, 6? I want a pretty big bow on this because I don't know that anything else is going to go on here. Except for like some ornaments, some cute things. So that's 4. Let's do 5 and 6. We'll bring this out. It's on 8 right here, so to get 12 I would need to bring it to 20, right? No. Oh, this is 12. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's 8 that way and 12 this way. I don't know why. So you had a fun day out. Hopefully I won't have to do it again for a while. But it wasn't really that bad. And I know to most people it's like, hey, you're not supposed to go out, which I get. But I had to go out because I need to eat food. I didn't eat felt. I didn't need nasal spray. I didn't need a Rice Krispie treat. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I know for a fact that I am doing much more than most of the people I know online are, and definitely most of the people who live in my parish. I don't know why I feel like I have to justify it. It's because I bought the felt. Like, that's it. I bought the felt and I was like, oh, this is not essential. And like I was walking around, like I put my other groceries on top of it. I was like, I don't want anybody to see that I bought felt. I don't want anybody to question me. But I would have been like, I am a businessman, ma'am. You need to go back and speak to the manager if you have a problem, Karen. Okay. Now, hi baby. You stretching? You so tired from doing nothing? Me too. Oh. I'm trying to measure this out right here because it's hard to measure on the thing. I don't know how this is going to hold up because it's stiff, but it's not. It's not wired. So we will see. And it doesn't fit on. Oh, it does fit on there. Cool. And you don't have to twist this because it's the same on both sides. My dog's behind me like tap dancing about something. He loves to tap dance. I think I'm only gonna do 4. What is it? Come here. It's okay. I know you're pretty. He's like, who are you talking to? I probably should have twisted this because it's not, I think it'll be fine. I know you guys can't see that, but I have a clamp that's holding up my camera contraption that I made that looks absolutely terrible, but it gets the job done. I think I'm going to bring these to 10 inches now? 10 inches? Uh-oh, he found his tail. Oh my goodness, baby! Get it! What is it though? You want a bone? Is that what you want? You want a bone for good boys? Hold on guys, duty calls. I told you I'm Kris Jenner. I don't have time for my children. This is supposed to take you like an hour to eat, but you eat it in 2 minutes for some reason. There you go. Well, he knows I'm Kris Jenner. He also knows he doesn't pull his weight because he doesn't make any money. Which I should have put him on blast, but... And my sister, I was telling her about the stimulus check, and I was like, you spend that money on yourself. She said, we need to get the tub fixed, and I was like, screw the tub, spend it on yourself. I asked Michelle, I was like, what are you gonna do with your magic Trump money? That's what we call, yeah, you get your magic Obama money, you got your magic Bush money. Did we get magic Bush money? Oh, I did, because everything in my life was destroyed during the hurricane. But, I guess that was FEMA money. But Magic Bush money, Magic Obama money, Magic Trump money. I said, what are you gonna do when you get your big check? I don't know, probably pay off my student loan some, I guess. And I was like, oh my god, you are the most boring person in the world. Let's take a vacation. That's funny because I just edited the video yesterday where I went on like a 30-minute tangent about how I hate vacations and I would never take one. Alright, I'm going down to 9 inches with these tails. And you are going to go right here because you are easier to deal with. That. Oh! That is on there tight. You see me pulling it? But ultimately, I should also do something practical with my check. But, you know... I'm only gonna do 4 of these loops because I cut a bunch of this for the tails. How much is left on here? Oh, there's plenty left on here, but I'm afraid this bow is getting like enormous. Look, you finished that bowing already, y'all. How long were those? 9? This tail? Yeah, 9. Just trying to do some preliminary moving around. I don't think I've screwed this up yet. I can see every layer underneath the one before it, so that's good. And when I do that at 4.5, I think I'm going to finish with this one at 4. And my tails, again, probably at 8. I hate that little fold in there. Oh, that was really stuck on there. This one's going to be really stuck on there too. Oh, no, it's just not going to go on at all. Okay. Alright, so... 8 and 4. Very hard to say because a lot of ribbon in the way. I'm just going to be slightly shorter than this one. Are these two even? Even enough for me. I guess 6. This one. Last loop. Okay. Being a jerk. Don't you hate it when your rivet's a jerk? Even when it knows you're Kris Jenner. Oh my god, I'd be such a terrible stage mom. These are going down, up, up, down, down, and this is going to make a completely enormous bow. Which we love for us. We love that journey for us, y'all. Alright, here's my cable tie. Oh, how am I going to get this on here? Okay, skillfully divide this. Just don't drop the stack. I'm going to pull it up a little bit, get my cable tie underneath there. Oh, it does not want to go. Okay. Oh. Move it over to the middle and move this to the back. Good. Wait a minute, why is this one longer? Oh no. Oh no, why is this one shorter? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. Oh, because it's not over all the way. That looks most. Oh my god, look how big that bow is. I was like, what color pipe cleaner am I looking for? Keep it in there. Give you a little twist. A light twist. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that this is straight, because you don't want like this to flip back and this to flip under, because then you have a bow that's kind of, you know, so you want to make sure everything's lined up. And because this is sort of a precarious situation, I'm going to tighten this down as well as I can. And then work on... Look at this. Do you see it? Do I want to put this on the wreath to fluff it, or probably be better on the wreath? So I'm going to trim off the cable tie. It has done its job. Oh! Something just fell over somewhere and I don't know what it was. But more importantly, I don't care. I'm just going to toss all of these ribbons over here so they don't get pulled back into the wreath. Let's see what it pulls back with it. Oh, it almost pulled a whole bunch of eucalyptus, but it gave up at the last minute. Alright, let me look through the viewfinder. The camera makes this green look like so... bleh. You know? I hate the bows at the top and the bottom. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. Where do you guys think it's going to go? Do you think it's going to go here? Yeah, you're right. Put your graffiti on me. I did hear from more than one person, which would be my mom and my sister, that Louisiana is expected to hit its peak this week. You have to go. I'm smushing the crap out of this bow. Thank God I didn't fluff it. It's supposed to reach its peak, which it's good because once you get to the peak, you start going down again. But it's bad because that means more people will be getting diagnosed and sick and possibly dying. But if we're reaching a peak, or about to reach a peak, or whatever, it's a good thing, right? I'm just dovetailing all of these. It's, I heard somebody say, I'm gonna have to do something about that because that is going to bother me. I heard somebody say that we should use this blessing, and they use the term blessing. We should use this blessing to reevaluate our lives. And I was like, blessing? People are dying. But I think what she was getting at is that you can see this as what it is, as it's a pandemic and people are dying and it's terrible and it's awful and you might be sick, your mom might be sick, your Uncle Gary might be sick, you might know somebody, you know, it's anything. Like you could just, I'm moving this bow over because it's, I want it more towards the center. Oh my god, what I wouldn't give for thin supermodel fingers. That might be too tight, but we'll see. Come down here, why don't you? Okay, there you go. Sorry, I'm sorry I got violent with you. Sorry. Just I'm upset about my fat fingers. Like we have to view this as it is. Like this is a terrible thing that has happened to us. It is hopefully, is this part of the bow or is this part of the wreath or what is this? What is this? It's like part of the, it's a tail. Guys, it's a tail. Calm down. I need to get all bent out of shape. It's a pandemic. It's terrible. It is awful what is happening. There is no, silver lining. There is no justification for it. But I think, at least what I took away from the blessing of the pandemic, is that people who have disconnected themselves so much from their friends, from nature, from their family. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I went out and walked without having in the back of my head, you're walking because you ate something you shouldn't have. Or you're walking because you're going to eat something you shouldn't. When I could just get up and go for a walk just for fresh air, just to feel the sunshine, just to see the birds, just to look at trees, just to get into a physical altercation with that squirrel that lives in my backyard, whatever. So I can see that, and people who are quarantined with their families, they're spending more time together. Like, I mean, how many times do you see in a TV show or something where somebody makes this, like, suggestion of, okay, we're having dinner, everybody put their cell phones in the basket, which I'm sure some people do that, so you can have a meal and talk to each other about your day, whatever, but, you know, the majority of people, I mean, that's TV, you know? Oh my god, today's video was brought to you by me saying, you know? My battery's about to die, so let's turn that on, and that's better. It's just, she saw it as, you don't have to think of it as a bad thing. Like, the virus itself, the pandemic. What is that tail doing attached to your butt? What is it doing there? You want me to take it off? Let me get my scissors. You want me to get my good ones? You want the pink and cheese? Pink and cheese are in office. You're gonna have to wait for me to cut your tail off. Calm down. Yeah, it just, to be able to spend time with your family, to disconnect or to reconnect with people who you haven't seen, who, you know, you haven't talked in a while, or you're only Facebook friends with. Like, I think people being Facebook friends is so sad. Like, there's people that I went to high school with who I was, like, best friends with. And they went their way after high school, I went my way. And I don't talk to... Y'all, seriously, this dog. I don't... Give me that butt! Give me that butt! Give me that butt! Get out of here! You're crazy! Like, and to actually call those people on the phone or FaceTime them or do a Zoom meeting with, you know, like, all your friends. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, it would take me like 6 hours of hair and makeup and wardrobe to make myself presentable to people I went to high school with because I have a certain reputation to live up to. But I mean, just like reconnecting. And you have the time for it. And if you want, you have the time to be selfish and to say, no, I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones. No, I'm gonna sit on a book. I'm gonna sit on a book and read the couch. I'm gonna sit on a couch and read a book. And no, I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. And yes, we're just having frozen pizza tonight because I don't feel like cooking. Because I want to take some me time to myself. I wish I had bought a frozen pizza this morning. But whatever. So I do think it's... I get where she was coming from. It's just, this pandemic is it's almost like when I read it the first time, I was like, is she talking about like cleansing? Like this great cleansing that has happened, and I was like, what? But she was talking about what it has given us instead of what it has taken away. Which I think is kind of nice. See, and so I cut each one of these a little bit shorter so everything still shows up underneath. Wow, y'all, this bow is crazy. I don't know how much longer I can record on here, but let's see. Oh, I'm gonna go back. Oh no, everything's falling in my glue pot. I'm gonna go back and add the little styrofoam balls to where I cut. Well, you can't even really see them. I guess I don't have to, but where I cut the pipe cleaners. I might think about that. That might be like an extra step that I don't feel like doing. So what do we think? I think this is so far the best thing to come out of 2020. Only by 20 ounces, because if I bought like a pack or like A 2-liter? I don't even know if I have any 2 liters. I would definitely just drink the whole thing in one sitting. Okay, so our bow is here. Now for signs. My signs are somewhere in this house. I don't know where. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I know something's starting right now. Watch and you'll see. Wish I could be out of my house. Oh, now I want to watch a Little Mermaid. Okay. I used to want to be a mermaid, so I don't know, we used to play mermaids in a pool. It would consist of like flipping out of the water and then throwing your hair back. I always won, even though I had the least amount of hair. Okay. So. Oh, did I want to put this in here? No, because I was trying to keep away from the white. Because this is like off-white. This is like stark white. And for signs, I have these, but they're also white. This is like a 4-pack of ornaments I got after Christmas at Big Lots, but they're pretty big. But then I don't think that... Oh, they're foam. Cool. I don't think... Oh. Come on. I don't think they're big enough for... What do we think? I just think it looks a little diminutive. Did I just say that? I'm so pretentious. And then, you know, if you would think about it like a sign this size, which would have to be like here. Not this one, because this doesn't go, but... I just kind of wish that was bigger. And you know, I could dig and look for a sign, but alas, my back. And I have to say my back because today I'm cleaning out my pantry to make room for all the nacho cheese I bought this morning. So I'm gonna wait on this because I don't know. But I do want to add some of these. You guys can't quietly hear me burping inside my mouth, can you? You can? Okay. Well, you know, I'm a human being with real human being feelings, so if you could not bring it up, that'd be great. When I was sick last week, I got in touch with the doctor, and he's like, what are your symptoms? And I was like, well, I'm nauseous, throwing up, I don't feel good, and I am so gassy. And he was like, flatulence? And I said, no, Dr. Goodbody, or whatever his name was. I said, I can't stop burping. And he's like, have you tried Gas X? And I was like, no, I don't have Gas X in my house, and I haven't left my house. So, when I talked to my mom, she's like, I'll bring you over whatever you need. So I was like, bring me Gas X. And she's like, oh my god, are you gonna stop burping? Because she even said, she's like, you are burping a lot. For you. Because I love a good burp. But not like non-stop. Which is pretty much what was happening. I was just like, do you guys feel better now that you know that I was burping a lot and had to take gas pills? I've got to clean this table too, but my my pantry is more important right now. Alright, can it go out anymore? Oh, like half an inch. Did that light just come on? Alright, I am gonna start with... Oh, I got a new stapler today too. That was my other purchase, my impulse purchase. which I was just waiting for somebody to say, you don't need that stapler. And then I would have been like, yes I do, because I had to make all these bows and hold them myself when I could have just stapled them. Alright, glue pot's right, you can see that, yeah. Get some glue and let's just start sticking these in. You should probably know where you're putting them before you put glue on them, Adam. Figure out where he's going, or she, or they. What's your pronoun? I'm just trying to make sure that grabs onto some mesh. I don't really want to concentrate anything up here because you're not going to see it. Maybe you will a little bit if I leave the things a little bit longer. So yeah, today's the first day where I actually felt like decidedly better, like not waking up with my stomach hurting, my muscles hurting. The muscle thing was crazy. I was just like, something's wrong. My liver exploded. Is that a thing that happens? Why don't I know any doctors? Why did I marry a doctor? God, that would be wonderful if I married a doctor. I'd be like, honey, my liver exploded again. I need help. And I'm in such a better mood, too. Because I have this thing, which my mom, every time I say it, she gets almost pissed off about it, because when I'm sick, I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? And she's like, you didn't do anything to deserve it. You're just sick. You're not a bad person. And I'm like, no, I feel like I'm a bad person, and that's why I'm sick. And she's like, oh my god. But I do get sick pretty often. And I am a good person. But maybe that has no bearing on being sick or healthy. Oh my god, you guys, this is so pretty. Toot toot. Is there nothing from Dollar Tree on this wreath? Uh-oh. He's like a big timer now. Wow. I might have to just put like a... I might have to put something on there. I don't want to lose my way. Now that I'm a fancy professional wreath maker. I'm trying to open up my Etsy store and I'm just like, I don't want to do this, because I did Etsy before. I did very well on Etsy when I was selling quilting DVDs, like extremely well. But it was so much work. Oh Lord, I needed an assistant. I need a shipping supervisor. I told Michelle she should do it, but she's like, I have to raise my children. And I was like, okay, you still using that excuse? One of them's like 10 years old. She can raise the other one. You did as best you could. I don't think it's going to get better for either one of them. But she's like, no. And I was like, well, just move back in. She's like, well, no, my husband lives here. And I'm like, oh my god, you and your husband. I'm so tired of hearing about your husband. How you can't do anything because of your children and your husband. And I threatened to not be her friend anymore, and she's like, okay. And then the next day I was like, I called her and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I thought you weren't my friend anymore. And I was like, oh. Well, I weighed my options and, you know, It is what it is. You guys, is this cute? Do we like it? You know what? If I put these on, it'll be my Dollar Tree element, but I don't think I am, because you're not going to be able to see them because you can't see the pipe cleaners. So what do you think? Are these all in here good? Oh god, that glue pot works so well. The consistency of the glue is like perfect. Are you in there? Yeah. Are you in there? Yeah. You? Okay. So yeah. I love this one. And where's my stupid sign? Well, I'm calling it a stupid sign, so I guess I made up my mind about it. It was literally right here. Which that shouldn't surprise any of y'all that I had lost something that was right in front of me. Well, it's not like I don't have a bunch more right here. I know I didn't put it back in here because that seems unlike me. Oh, what a mess. Just give me one. Yeah, I think that makes it look cheap. It cheapens it. I'm not one of those people that's like, it needs a sign. It's obviously a Christmas wreath. Does it have to say Merry Christmas? No. Would this work in another wreath? Probably. Okay, so I am super happy with that. I need to figure out how to make these little styrofoam balls for very cheap. Because, oh no, that was like $4 for 2 picks? I don't think that's bad. You don't think that's bad? So yeah, this is my first wreath with no Dollar Tree stuff in it. I think. I don't know. Maybe. Well, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to whatever stories I told in the first part, because I've already forgotten. And my rambliness. This isn't fraying too bad. I think that, like, if you don't mess with it, it should be fine. But I might want to... I can cut... Yeah, if I can cut it straight... Yeah, the straighter it's cut, the better it's going to be. I'm going to come in here and... Alright. So there we go. Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. What did I tell you to comment below? Something. I said to tell me something. I don't know. Yeah. I will see you guys when I see you. Hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Please subscribe, y'all. I mean, oh my god, it's embarrassing. It's really... It depresses me how... Sometimes I get like 2 subscribers and I'm like, yes! And then I come back the next day and it's like, I've lost 4 subscribers. So, alright, see you guys when I see you. Merry Christmas and April. Bye-bye.